What's going on, everyone? It's your boy Ron back with DFS Greatness. Let's get to it, though, man. Playoffs, man. Divisional games this weekend. It's gonna be some very, very good games, man. Wild card was good last week. All the games were very close. No blowouts. It was just real competitive games. Hopefully this divisional round be the same. Man, before I start this video, man, if you like the content, you like the video, you think this video is helpful for you, subscribe to my channel, and let's get to it. At the quarterback, man, you got all the good quarterbacks, man. Lamar Jackson, Pat Mahomes, Deshaun Watson, Russell Wilson. Let's break these quarterbacks down. I'll tell you the ones I like the most. You got Lamar Jackson right now at 8,400 on Draftkings. He's averaging around 29.4 fantasy points a game, man. The guy been just balling, man. He's gonna be the MVP of the league. He's getting around 11.7 rush attempts a game. He should be good, man. They had a bye, so and also kind of like 2 weeks the last week of the season they didn't play. So they had a bye last week. Um, Lamar Jackson, he's in a good matchup against the Tennessee Titans. They're ranked 17 as a whole and 18 against quarterbacks. So if you want to spin up, go get Lamar Jackson. Do not see the wrong with paying up for him. But it's kind of steep. I just don't know how the game script gonna be. Titans, they hungry. People sleeping on them. I'm from Nashville. I just, when people are hungry, man, you never know. The underdogs, the Titans. So you got Patrick Mahomes at 7,500, averaging around 22.5 fantasy points a game. Going against Houston, he's in a very good matchup, man. Going against Houston, 27 as a whole, and they 29th against the quarterbacks. Patrick Mahomes, man, guy been on the tear. His price tag, he's 1,100 more on FanDuel. 7,500 price tag, man. He get about 3.1 rush attempts a game. I like Pat Mahomes a lot if you want to go play him against Houston. Mahomes is the second most expensive quarterback on the slate, but I think he's going to have the best matchup of the weekend. The Texans have struggled against quarterbacks all season, allowing 33 touchdown passes and the fourth most fantasy points to the position. Basically, when he's at home, he's gonna have an average over 25 points against teams. So I definitely like him a lot, man. Patrick Mahomes, that's another good quarterback I like. I feel like he's in a good matchup. Definitely want to have, if you're going to get Patrick Mahomes, you got to have, Tyreek Hill with you or go get Travis Kelce, man. My sleeper is Sammy Watkins, man. Dirt cheap if you want to go stack him up, man. Because the lineups I always win have, a person you don't play, low on, got to go off, just how it goes. Playoff season, man. And I watched Houston defense last week. They're not that good. J.J. Watt, man, I think it was J.J. Watt. It was at home. It took over to them. But Buffalo had a game in their pocket, man. They just gave that game away. It was up too big and just let that game slip away. And also, you got Deshaun Watson sitting at 6,700. He's averaging around 23.4 fantasy points a game, getting around 5.5 rush attempts a game. He's 1,600 more on FanDuel. The first time these teams met, Deshaun Watson, he had a good game. He dropped 31.4 fantasy points against Kansas City in Week 6. So I definitely like that. Kansas City defense, you don't know what defense you're going to get. The beginning of the season, Kansas City defense was terrible. They worked on it. They got to get better. The defense has regrouped, and it looked way better than what it did before. If you want to go get Deshaun Watson, Will Fuller, I don't think this guy going to play. And also, Kenny Stills is questionable. So if you want to go get him, you always got to get his top receivers, DeAndre Hopkins. And keep an eye if somehow Fuller do not play or Kenny Stills don't play. You look at Kiki Kuti. That's the guy I like also. And you got 6,600, Russell Wilson. He got at the price tag, Russell Wilson, that's a fair price tag for him. Wilson doesn't have a great matchup this weekend, but the numbers don't lie well for more than half of the quarterbacks. So consider Wilson at just fourth in terms of cost at the position. He in the Seahawks offense it also wouldn't be the first time Wilson overcomes a tough postseason matchup and puts up a nice stat line for fans. So I definitely like that, man. Green Bay defense. I mean, just which Green Bay defense you gonna get, man? I just feel like Russell Wilson, man. They got a chip on their shoulder. They motivated. They got a. I feel like Seattle has a better team than Green Bay, man. Green Bay got a bad. They play like crap all throughout the season. Really didn't have no marquee wins. Green Bay didn't. Just I think two good wins against the divisional foes. But like other than that, Green Bay wasn't very impressive this year. Also, if you want these quarterbacks down here like Jimmy, Kirk Cousins, that's gonna be. I feel like the Minnesota game against San Francisco, that's gonna be a very defensive game, man. Because San Francisco has one of the best defenses in the league. So Cousins had a good game last week. New Orleans kind of beat themselves. They played pretty bad. They deserve to get beat. They didn't come out and play fumbles, turnovers, and everything. And Kirk Cousins, I give him respect, man. Respect is due. He came out and balled out, and they got the win. So at the end of the day, is what type of game you play. Everybody talk about Kirk Cousins, got the job done. So yeah, man. The quarterback I like, Pat Mahomes. And at the running back position, the top running back is Derrick Henry, man. They ran this guy last week to death, but I don't know if he can do the same thing. They're going to lean on him a lot. Going against Baltimore defense, ranked third overall and eighth against running backs, man. Scary. They got a smothering defense, man. Right now, Henry's averaging 21.6 fantasy points a game. He's 1,400 more on FanDuel. Last game, he had 34 touches. That's a lot of touches. He dropped 30 fantasy points, but also New England just couldn't stop him. He just running over him. And I just feel like this week, Henry probably gonna have to do a little bit. I don't know more he can do, but I think this game is gonna be more around Tannehill. He's gonna have a lot of weight on his shoulders because I just feel like Baltimore's not gonna let this guy just crush him like that. How New England got killed last week. Another running back I like for this week is Aaron Jones at 7,400, averaging around 20.9 fantasy points a game, getting around 14.8 rush attempts a game. And also, one thing I like about Aaron Jones, his pass targets, averaging 4.3 pass targets a game. I like Aaron Jones a lot. He's $800 more on FanDuel going against Seattle. Seattle defense last week, man, I don't know if it was going against a backup quarterback, but they put their heat on McCown and Carson Wentz. 11 sacks last week, very impressive. I just don't know which Green Bay team gonna show up. Going against Seattle, ranked 19th as a whole, and 20th against running backs. That's all they've been said. And Mark Ingram's questionable, but I see earlier he's gonna play 6,700. He's just around $800 more on FanDuel. Going against Tennessee Titans defense. He's averaging around 17.1 fantasy points a game, getting 13.5 rush attempts a game, about 1.9 pass targets. Mark Ingram's he's in a good matchup also, because mostly the offense is run heavy. That's what the majority of the offense is. And I think the best running back that I like for Sunday game is Damian Williams, averaging around 13.5 fantasy points a game, 27 as a whole. The defense is, and against the running back, they're ranked 26. Last three games, they're averaging 13.5 fantasy points a game. And also the price tag $6,900 more on FanDuel. Getting around 3.4 pass targets a game, 10.1 rush attempts a game. I think he's a good running back to play. Williams caught up a huge fantasy game. The postseason looked like he's back to backfield option for Coach Andy Reid. He's a nice start against Texans, who's allowed 6.4 catches and combined 17 touchdowns, and the fifth most fantasy points to running backs during the regular season. So all that been said, Houston Texans hasn't really been a good defense against the run this year. And if I did go cheap, Carlos Hyde, week 6 against Kansas City, Carlos Hyde had a pretty good game. He dropped 20 fantasy points on 26 attempts, and 116 rushing yards. So Carlos Hyde, I like him. If somehow Mark Ingram do not play at 4,900, definitely put Gus Edwards in your lineup. And you still got beast mode. He's not a factor like he was a couple years ago, but 4,800. If you want to punt to go get him in the red zone, do not see wrong with him because they use him a lot in the red zone because he's not the same beast mode of old. And if I did go any cheaper for running back, it will probably be Jamal Williams for Green Bay. Don't want to go cheap. Other than that, I'm not really touching nobody. And I didn't mention it was Mustard. Rasul Mustard, 5,800, averaging 10.6 fantasy points a game. If you want to play him, I don't see anything wrong with it. Because it should be a fast-paced game. He's $900 more on FanDuel. At 5,800, I don't see anything wrong with playing him if you want to just be different. But Damon Williams is the running back I like a lot. And the top wide receiver of the slate is Devontae Adams. Devontae Adams, man, he's averaging 19.1 fantasy points a game. Going against Seattle. Last 3 games, he had getting around 10.6 pass targets a game. He's $600 more on FanDuel at 7,800 price tag. I feel like he's probably the best best receiver to slate, and that's also Aaron Rodgers' favorite target. I was looking for Devontae Adams. He's gonna give him like last 3 games 13, 16, 13 targets. It's crazy how many targets he get a game, but definitely that's his favorite target. And it's like $200 cheaper. You got Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill's averaging 16.2 fantasy points a game, getting around 7.4 pass targets a game. He's $300 more on FanDuel, so definitely like the Draftkings price. And in 7,400, DeAndre Hopkins, he's averaging around 18.8 fantasy points a game, getting around 10 targets a game. And I definitely like Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. The Green Bay secondary is very vulnerable, so I definitely like both of those guys to throw in a lineup. DK Metcalf, man, this guy been balling. He's $200 more on FanDuel. It's 6,800 price tag. Do not see wrong with playing him. He's averaging around 13.2 fantasy points a game, getting around 6.3 targets a game. Since they lost Penny, the major key with the running backs, Russell Wilson has been leaning heavily on his wide receivers. And also, you got Tyler Lockett at 6,000. He's $100 more on FanDuel. He's getting around 6.9 pass targets a game, averaging 15.5 fantasy points a game. And then if I did go cheaper for wide receiver, also you got Stephon Diggs, 5,600. If I want to go play him, but he's got a tough matchup going against Mr. Richard Sherman. Shadow him all game. And Emmanuel Sanders at 5,400. I feel like it's a real good price tag because Xavier Rose, man, got torched last week. Man, he's making highlights every week, just getting burnt. So I do not see anything wrong if you want to play 5,400. Go get Emmanuel Sanders. Emmanuel Sanders averaging around 11.7 fantasy points a game. If you want to go get him, put him in your lineup. Last 3 games, he's getting around 5.7 targets a game. He's $300 more on FanDuel. And also Minnesota ranked 24th against wide receivers. And in the same game with 5,200, Deebo Samuels, the last 3 games, the guy's averaging around 13.3 fantasy points a game. He's $900 more on FanDuel, getting around 5.4 targets a game, man. That's a good play. You want to go get him with Jimmy because somebody got to throw it and somebody got to catch it. And if I did go cheap, like I mentioned earlier, at 4,300, Sammy, you got Sammy Watkins, 4,300. If I want to go cheaper, because it's real tricky when you go get the Kansas City wide receivers. You just never know who's going to go off. Most of the time it's Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill, but like the odd guys would be Sammy Watkins, and you got McCole Hardman, and sometimes you get DeMarcus Robinson. You just will never know what Pat Mahomes will be looking for and just get a ball to. favorite receiver, I definitely like Tyreek Hill. And for the tight end, the top tight end is Travis Kelce, averaging 16.3 fantasy points a game, getting around 8.5 targets a game. Last 3 games, averaging 16.3 fantasy points a game. He's 1,100 more on FanDuel, 27 as a whole, and they rank 24th against tight ends, Houston. So I definitely like that. But I feel like if you betting, I'll take the over on this game because I'm pretty sure both these teams do not have good defenses, so they definitely go over the total. And you got George Kittle at 6,200, averaging around 16.5 fantasy points a game, getting around 7.6 targets a game. Definitely like him. You want to be different and put him in your lineup. I'm pretty sure he will be highly owned, probably about 32% owned. And also Mark Andrews, 5,600. That's a good price tag. $1,200 more on FanDuel. Tennessee Titans are ranked 27 against the tight ends. All that been said, definitely have some exposure to him. He's averaging around 14.3 fantasy points a game, 6.5 targets. That's one of Lamar Jackson favorite target. And if I did want to go cheap for tight end, you also got Jonah Smith for the Titans. I mentioned him last week. I mean, just the game was just got real one-dimensional with the running. So at 3,400, I do like Jonah Smith this week. He averaging 6.3 fantasy points a game, $1,900 more on FanDuel. And also you got at 3,400 also Kyle Rudolph. I do like to play this guy, man, because he's been playing pretty good lately. He's $2,000 more on FanDuel, so I definitely play him on Draftkings compared to FanDuel. At 3,300, Jimmy Graham. This guy pretty washed up now, but if you want to go get him, we'll have somebody for tomorrow for Sunday. You're just waiting on your bench. Going against Seattle, they ranked 30th against tight ends. He's $1,700 more on FanDuel. Getting around 3.8 targets a game. When will you ever see Jimmy Graham just averaging 6.3 fantasy points a game? That's good, man. This guy, when he was in New Orleans, man, he was a dog. It's just like these injuries. This guy has never really bounced back to the form that he was at first, man. Some people don't really bounce back when that happens. Tight end, I like George Kittle, man. It's just a few core plays that I do like, man. Like him a lot. Receiver, probably DK Metcalf. And if I did do a sleeper, it will be my sleeper play will be Deebo Samuels. I want to put my lineup, just different plays that I like for this slate, man. At the end of the day, man, this is your boy Ron back with DFS Greatness. If you think this video was helpful for you, like the video, subscribe to my channel, like the page. Until next time, I'm out. Good luck, everyone, and have a good weekend.